right. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Cesar Mascoro Jr. with MH Sales Mastery, Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, in with a special edition of 15 Minutes to Mastery, where I want to come in and try this whole Q&A thing, man. How are you guys doing? Figured, you know what? I got some windshield time. Might as well get on here and talk to you folks. Might as well get on here and kind of see what we can get worked out and kind of get a little tilted here with the way the phone is set up on the stand, but that's all right. How has your week been? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, man, a lot of stuff going on, a lot of great things going on with hopefully you, but I have for sure with us over at MH Sales Mastery. Also, a lot of great stuff going on with our great partnership over at First Step Homes as well. And maybe we're going to get into that. We're going to get into everything that's going to be happening here over the next few weeks, the next few months, because it's that time. It's time that you start thinking out ahead, not just living in the moment, but planning out long term what you're going to do to be able to make sure that you are executing at the highest level. And I wanted to do this Q&A because just like it says in Proverbs 27:17, right? As iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another, right? So one man another. So we want to bounce ideas off of each other. We want to make sure that we are answering the questions that you maybe have going on, and we want to be able to provide you all types of info. But let me switch up the layout here real quick so that I can see you guys full screen. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Oh, man. Well, I'm here to tell you, look, these last few weeks, actually these last few months have been a whirlwind, right? Even into 2025, if you go back into 2025, things have been crazy for us. And I'm going to pop the comments up here. Hopefully I can see the comments as they're coming in, right? And if so, drop your comments, man. We want to make sure that we are able to help you guys out as you're going along. But listen, back towards the end of 2025, we had a lot of stuff brewing, a lot of stuff going on. And it's just continued to grow and build. And what can I tell you? It's made 2026 so very damn interesting. And January, we're plugging away, getting things knocked out. But now the rubber meets the road. Okay. It seems like I'm gonna be traveling just about every week. I'm not going to be, but it just seems that way. But look, let's run through this, man, and then we're gonna hopefully you guys will be coming in here with your own questions, be able to answer those for you as you go along. But look, let me tell you about what is happening here. Okay. So you guys know that we launched last year, towards the end of last year, we launched our partnership with MHI, Manufactured Housing Institute. We redesigned the whole PhD training program, right? That hit the ground running, man. Thank you to everybody who's jumped on board with that and gone through the training. We've had some great feedback from it. We've had some constructive feedback as well. Look, I'm not saying we're perfect, right? We screw some things up. Some people felt that there could be some tweaks done, and believe me, we're going to make some tweaks to it as we go along. But that's off and running. You can get PhD certified, and you can take your career and just go along with it, right? But we had that going, and that has led into other things. And so if I had to relate it back to what it is that you do, right? When we start thinking about what you do out there across the country, selling your homes, what you do out there as a housing consultant, you have to stay in that constant motion. You have to stay active. You, as I put it so very clearly, right? Activity breeds activity. Too many times in my life, in my career, as I've been over the years, I would get into those moments where I felt that, man, you know what? I got it figured out. Man, you know what? I don't have to push that hard. Things are going well. And I would kind of get into those moments where I felt like I can cruise it a little bit here and there. And as soon as I stopped pursuing sales, I'm talking about back when I was still selling, just like you, when I was on sales floor, or even as a sales manager, or even as a general manager. You get your team, they built momentum, and you kind of feel like, all right, we got it, man. The team's got it. We've got these deals working, and then all of a sudden, man, things start falling apart. Pipeline starts dropping deals, here and there, and now you're like scratching your head. Well, shoot, what's going to happen 2 or 3 months from now when we with these deals that we lost and we don't have the momentum going into those, right? And so I share that with you so that you can take that information and now avoid those headaches. And how do you do that? By staying in constant motion. What does that mean? What does it mean for you to stay in constant motion? That means you're consistent in your actions. That means that you stay committed to the activities that are going to continue to drive business for you. Which ones are those? That's a great question. All right. For those of you out there, man, the things that you need to be focused in on, hyper focused, has got to be, obviously you got to be on point with your marketing. And we're gonna discuss marketing as we go along through this. And I'm sorry, man, I'm gonna have to be moving this thing. I hate that I'm driving into the setting sun because this is the way it's gonna look. But it's a Q&A, right? It's just answering your questions and sharing some information. So it's not like you got to see my beautiful face. But listen, so going back to it, marketing. You got to stay on top of the marketing. That can never go away. The moment, whenever I stop to doing marketing, whenever I kind of skip the day, where you skip one day and then it becomes 2 days and then it becomes a week. Next thing you know, man, it's been 2 weeks and you're like, what in the world happened? And if you look back over the last few weeks, you'll notice that you changed what you were doing. I shared this with our sales team not too long ago, a couple of days ago, right? We were having a call, and I shared a little clip from Andy Frisella where he was talking just about that very topic, where he's like, what you're living in now. If your pipeline is great, if you're funding a whole bunch of deals, if you're stacking cash, man, it's because if you look back 60, 90 days back into the past, you were doing the things that it took to be able to achieve the outcome that you have right now. Now, on the contrary, on the other side of that, right, if you're struggling right now, if you don't have deals that are funding, if you into January and it was rocky as heck, and you don't have money in the bank, well, same thing. If you go back and look at what you did over the last 60, 90 days, 120 days, it was a whole lot of nothing. It's just plain and simple. That's what it is. You can't run from it. You can't hide it. It is what it is. And so you got to be open and honest with yourself when it comes to going back to things that you've got to stay continuously in motion with your marketing. The other thing, obviously, is your prospecting, your phone calls, your follow-up, whatever you're going to call it. You cannot steer away from that. You cannot get away from the marketing that needs to get done so that you can have the volume of leads and appointments and traffic that's actually showing up to your location and buyers, right? And don't lose sight of that. Don't lose sight of the fact that it's not just about the action, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just about what you should be doing. It's about doing it with an intent. It's about doing it with a purpose. It's about understanding that results are the only thing that matters. That's it. Results are the only thing that matters. If you're going to the office and you're doing the marketing and you're making the phone calls, but you're not making any progress. You're not scheduling any appointments. You get people who come in and you're not really putting forth the effort to earn the business on that day. Well, you're wasting time and you're losing money. So you've got to make sure that you're getting the results. Well, no, duh, Caesar. That's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Yes, it is actually pretty simple, isn't it? It's a very simple concept. If I do my marketing and I do my prospecting, my follow up, my phone calls, whatever you want to call it, I'm probably going to have the activity that I need in order to get business. But then why is it so difficult? Who on here right now struggles to stay consistent with making the calls? Who on here right now struggles to stay consistent with the daily marketing that you've got to be doing? Okay? I'm sure that I'm not the only one that did it back when I was selling. I'm sure that right now that there's people out there that are struggling with it. You got to figure that out. What is it? What is it? You know why you need to figure it out? Now I'm going to get into some sales tactics for you, some sales topics for you. Today, February, what's today, the 6th? Yeah. February 6th, 2026. Your buyers, ladies and gentlemen, are completely different than what they were even in 2023 when I left the business. When I left to start Manufactured Home Sales Mastery, MH Sales Mastery, the buyers back then are different than the buyers even were now, or now. And they were pretty bad back then. And what I mean by bad is indecisive. They were apprehensive. They were trying to get as much research done before making a decision. They have to be really, really strong at being able to get people to move forward on their first visit, right? And now you fast forward 3 years to 2026, and I'm here to tell you, man, it is even harder. There's so many things that are working against you, right? And take the customers aside, take the buyers aside, right? Remove the human element. It's still even more difficult just to get a hold of them. And that has so much to do with the psychological aspect of how people are operating now, okay? Think about how much noise shows up in your feed every single day, whatever platform we're talking about, okay? If you're on Facebook, think of all of those ads that pop up. Think of all of those suggested accounts that they want you to follow. Think of all the ads, everything that comes across your feed. And so, because of that, it's so much harder to reach people, right? And two, now think about when you're actually calling folks, right? One, a lot of them don't answer when you call them. And then two, there's a lot more nowadays that are screening their calls, right? They have you get onto that system where you got to leave your name and the reason for your call, and let me see if Joe actually wants to talk to you. Or you have the other thing that I've been talking about lately, which is, on the iPhone, that if your name's not programmed and you call, it goes straight to voicemail. Well, who checks their voicemail? I know I don't. And before you tell me, what do you mean you check your voicemail? What about clients calling you? My voicemail greeting states very specifically, do not leave me a voicemail, because I do not check my voicemail. Then maybe I've missed some business. I've missed some business here and there. But I'm here to tell you right now that it's that much harder to get a hold of folks. And there was a great point made by David Finney on a call that I was on with him, where we asked him, just that. Like, hey man, what can we do, right? What can we do to get the buyers to actually answer the calls? And it wasn't a Zoom call. He was actually in person in Louisville. We were talking about this at the Louisville show. You guys, you go to our YouTube page and watch that interview with Dave Finney. But anyways, Dave suggested something that was really damn good. It seems pretty simple, but maybe a lot of us aren't doing this right now. Which he said, you know what? Yes, people are screening their calls a lot more. Man, these highways suck. People are screening their calls a lot more, and here's what you need to do. You need to warm up the lead before you call them. So you get the lead, whether it's on Facebook Messenger or through your company, okay, whatever it may be. What you need to do is you need to send them a message before you call them. You need to text them, let them know you're about to call them. You need to tell them who you are, all of those things, so that when your number pops up on their phone, they actually answer it, right? So now you got to put in, now, okay, man, I got to do another touch point. Well, guess what? Yeah, you got to do another touch point. You got to text them to introduce yourself before you call them. And I would encourage you that if you're going to be doing that, that you text them a video of yourself telling them that you're about to call them. Whatever it takes to be able to build connection, to build trust, so that when you call that individual, they actually pick up the phone. Or hopefully they'll tell you that, you know what, man, right now is not a good time. Don't call me because I am at work, or whatever it may be, right? But what we're getting at today is times have changed. Things have changed. And so that's why we're going to start opening doors to you guys here to be able to ask away, ask some questions, and see exactly how you can execute on this. We want to leave you with an actionable strategy, because it does you no good to come in here for 15, 20, 30 minutes to then not execute. So with that being said, that's right. Joe Ceballos, New Times calls for new tactics. Yes, we have to be willing to put in more work. We have to be willing to make extra contacts. We have to understand that it's just going to be more work. I'm not going to call it harder, because really, how hard is it to text? Unless you got one of those old school flip phones where you have to hit the number for every letter, right? The number 2, you have to hit it 3 if you needed to see A, you know, and then you imagine doing that. You don't have to do that anymore. And right now, you got a keyboard in your hand. So send them that message before you call. You know, if I may, I wanted to talk about something else. And you guys chip away, man. Send us your comments, your questions. Put them in the comments or whatever platform you're on, and we'll get with you guys. But check this out. About a couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, went and did a factory tour. Did a factory tour out in Fort Worth, Texas. The old Oak Creek, and now it's Capco, right? But did a factory tour, and it had been a while since I've been on a factory tour. And that thing was incredible. It's amazing for me to see those homes come together the way that they do, the stages that they have them on, and all of that good stuff. Because it's just great to see it come together, because now you're able to explain it and explain the construction in a manner that can bear some fruit, that can have an influence, that you can make things work for your buyer because of the way this home is built. And I don't know if any of you have been on a factory tour, but if you have not, I'm going to again now encourage you to do that. You should do that. So we've talked the things you got to be doing 2026. We talked about the construction of the homes briefly. There's so much more we can get into about construction, and you need to learn it. You need to learn it all. You need to be able to talk about any different component or part of the house without it sounding uh, without it sounding like mechanical. So you got to keep practicing it. You got to keep making sure that you've got a strong grip on that stuff so that you can earn people's trust. But we talked about marketing. We talked about phones. We talked about how the buyers are different nowadays. Okay. But what about you? What's different about you? If you had to put your finger on it, Joe, what's different about Joe Ceballos? Why should I trust this guy to take care of me? Right? Is it that you like to play sports over here, or is it that he's a God fearing man? What is it? And let the people know about it. Let the people know about it, because without it, we're not going to get anywhere. And so as we move along, you know, that's the thing to keep in mind. What's going to be different about you in 2026? What are you going to execute upon? How quick are you going to take action? How quick are you going to move on that idea or push that deal forward or make that tough phone call? So Joe, I don't know if Joe's still on the call, right? But as I talk about those things, right? Like how soon are you going to execute on these things? How fast are you going to move on this? And I saw Joe's name right here, and I know that Joe works for Titan Factory Direct out in West Texas. Um, I can't help but think of the great leader himself, Richard Krebs, and just how he always pushes, man. He's always wanting things done now. And I've been sharing it lately, right? I've shared it since the beginning, about over the last 2 years. But when I was working there and I was general manager, I did GM and I did sales, sales manager and GM, and everything was about going faster, doing more, being more urgent. Get it done now. Why didn't you get this done today? Why didn't you make that call today? Why can't you make that call right now? Okay. And that's one of the things that is really, and I think one of the things that has led to MH Sales Mastery being as successful as it has been, that we've made it as far as we've made it up to this point because of the urgency, because of how fast we move. And you, my friends, 2026 has to be your year of intentionality, and that includes moving quickly. That includes fast decisions. That includes fast action. Even if it's the wrong one, even if you wind up falling on your face or you wind up losing that deal or whatever. Nobody wants to lose deals, and I'm not encouraging that. But what I'm saying is you need to move quickly so that you can figure out what is or isn't going to work. Because if you don't, you're going to find yourself struggling. You're going to find yourself in a position where you just can't get it done. And you're going to wonder why. You're going to wonder why you're losing deals. You're going to wonder why buyers aren't getting a hold of you. You're going to wonder why traffic's slow. You're going to wonder and wonder and wonder. And I'm here to tell you, you don't have to wonder about a thing. The only thing you need to realize is that you're just not putting in enough action. And I'm here to tell you that it's not just any sort of action. It's not just make calls to make calls. It's not just post ads to post ads. It's intentional action. What is intentional action to you? Somebody, if you can write it in the comments, man, if you're brave enough to step up and and answer that question, what do you know you need to be more intentional about? What do you know that you need to change this year for yourself with regards to what has to do with your career? What about you has to change so that you can reach those levels of success that you're after? All of us, all of us have changes we need to make. I know that I had to make a whole bunch of changes throughout my career to keep staying on top, to keep moving forward, to keep reaching the levels that I needed to do. Okay. So new right, so we're closing the deal. Okay. Closing the deal. Are you talking about closing it when the customer's there, or you've already gotten the application, they're just not closing? Okay. Which is it? Because those are two different things, right? Is it closing the deal after you've gotten their application, or is it getting them to submit an application? They're just not moving forward. Because if it's the fact that they're coming in, they're seeing you, but they're just not moving forward, now what we're talking about in that situation is there's a couple things that are missing. One, you're not understanding their emotional need for the house. Okay. On our mastermind call this past Wednesday, we had Miss Suzanne Filber, the lifestylist. She was on there. She was talking about, the lifestyle and how people make their decisions to buy a home based on their emotional needs and the emotional needs within the house. So if you're not able to get them to move forward to even apply, probably missing on that, not asking enough questions up front. You're being too quick when they show up to go show homes. You're not really getting to build that rapport, okay? And finding out about them and finding out what's when you do ask them to buy or you're not building value in the house. Is it a transaction? Are you providing a transaction, or are you providing them an experience? Are they coming in feeling like they're just you're just making a deal, or are you solving their problem? Right? Use the home finder budget game plan. Yes, you got to make sure that you're asking all the right questions. You got to make sure that you're budgeting so that you can figure out what homes to show them. Right? But those are two things. So one, are you finding out that emotional reason that they're trying to buy a house? Two, are you building value in your homes? Are you building value in you? Are you building value in you as their consultant, what you're going to be able to do for them, help them accomplish, answer their questions, make this whole thing easier? Or are you just kind of, hey, what are you looking for? Okay, let's go take a look at some homes, and hey, this is a great deal, and this house right now is $15,000 off, and is it transactional and salesy, or are you finding out the emotional reasons as to why they're trying to buy a house? They're trying to move into a certain area. They're trying to downsize their home. Their family's growing. They had a bad experience. They got kicked out of their home, or the landlord sold the house off. What is it? And you're solving that problem, and then are you providing them the value in their home? Those are the main things, right? And obviously, you got to ask for the business. But are you overcoming enough objections? Or are you just kind of giving up when they give you the objection? That's ahead, right? Now, if you're not able to close the deal once you've got the deal, like you got the application, you got it into finance, but it's not moving forward, okay, Different story, but it's kind of related to what we just talked about. Okay, are they not moving to closing? Are they not closing because of the fact that they're not submitting the paperwork that you need them to submit? Or is it that they're just not getting financing? Is it that they're getting scared or they're finding another deal somewhere else? Okay. Joe writes in the comments, objections only mean that they don't know enough. Yes, they need more information. They need more answers, right? But let's talk about the fact that if they're not closing after they got the application submitted, okay? Let's take it one step at a time. Are they getting you the paperwork, the documentation, things that you need in order to be able to get them to closing? If they're not, then obviously we didn't do something right up front. We didn't establish that a true consultative connection. We didn't get them to feel like this is something that they've got to get taken care of, or they're scared about something. They're worried about something. And that's natural, right? It's natural for them to be worried about something that they're not going to be able to. They have the doubts, they have the concerns, they've got the fears, and you got to ask them that. If they're ignoring you, they're not moving forward, you got to call and ask them, hey, what is holding you back? What is going on here? What's the deal? How can I help you? What am I missing? Now, if they're not getting approved, if you're submitting them, but they're not getting approved, now we go back to what Joe just said earlier. Are you running a real budget? Are you finding out all their debts and their true income? Do you really know whether or not this deal is even a good deal that you're submitting? And there's things for that, right? That we have to keep in mind. There's things that you need to do to be able to come up with a solid budget, even if you don't pull credit. If you're at a location, if your location there, New Mexico, does not pull credit, it's okay. You can still run a budget by asking the right questions. Again, slowing down up front so that you can go fast on the back end. So there's so many things that go into play when you say about closing the deal. If you want to shoot me an email on that stuff, I'd be more than happy to break it down for you and get you some more insight on that. Because obviously that's the result that we're after, right? It's closing the deal, because that's where you're going to get paid once the house gets built or delivered, if it's coming off the lot, whatever it may be. So we got to make sure that you're getting these deals closed. But what I can tell every one of you on here right now is this: 2026 is going to be a great year. Every year is a great year above ground, right? But it's going to be a special year. There's going to be a lot of good things happening, and you need to be prepared for it. Don't be one of those people that are reacting to it right now, even though those deals may not be closing at the rate that you need them to. You need to be putting on even more action, more calls, more marketing, more everything, because these things are starting to loosen up, and this year is going to be a great year. And the more action you're taking, the more that you are going to benefit from it. The more families you are going to be able to help, right? I love what Joe just put on there, right? If those people aren't getting it, if you didn't collect all the conditions up front before they left, you took the application and they still needed to get you some things. Maybe it's the deed to the land. Maybe it's a tax statement. I don't know. The tax returns. You want to write all those things down on a piece of paper, right? If you don't have an official form for that, you want to write those things down on a sheet of paper, and you give them something for, right? Hey, if you give me these things before the end of the day tomorrow, you give them 24 hours. You get these things to me before the end of the day tomorrow, I'm going to include, like Joe said there, a free 75-inch TV, or maybe it's a washer dryer, maybe it's a furniture package. I don't know. I don't know what you guys. A sheet of paper, you sign it, the customer signs it, you give them a copy, And now they feel more of an obligation, urgency to get it done and get those things back to you, right? So, but going back to what I was saying is this year is going to be a huge year. It's going to be a huge year for you as a sales consultant out there anywhere around the country. It's going to be a huge year for us. It already has been. It's going to continue to be. Um, we got a week-long training class that we're doing next week in Dallas, and then the week after that, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee, all week long with a new client of ours. The week after that, we're all in Phoenix. We got 10 of us on the team. We're all going to Phoenix for MA Sales Mastery Live in Phoenix. Man, that thing is just about sold out. We got Matt Nino, the Vice President of Sales for CAFCO, the President of Sales for CAFCO. He's going to be the keynote. Thomas Dunn, the President of MHIA. We've got Thomas Dixon from Dynamic Home Repair going to be there. We've got David Finney from Build Media also coming out again. We got Mindy Parrish from Parrish Consulting. We got Duncan Metz from the Mobile Home guys talking AI. Man, we got a whole bunch of speakers. Oh, the guys from Trove, they're going to be there. And a whole bunch of people from around the country that are going to be there. We've got that going on, right? We're doing our PHC, a live in-person PHC training. The state of Kentucky, the Manufactured Housing Association, their members. We're doing that there in March. And then I got to be in Miami in March as well. And then from there, man, we're in April, we're heading out to Vegas, and we're doing for MHI one-day live training for MHI and right? April 7th, and then we're there for Congress and Expo, and then in May we're in Chicago for MH Sales Mastery Live in Chicago. In July we've got MH Sales Mastery Live in Orlando. So, and in between all of that, we got we're in the middle of creating an online training platform that anybody can invest in themselves, very minimal investment, and you can take, but this is going to be something where you need to take the ball and run with it. You need to be disciplined, and you need to be responsible enough and feel yourself important enough to dedicate time to do this and train with it and implement it. Not just train with it, but implement it. Actually do it. For those of you that have been through our courses, for those of you that have been through our classes, are you following it? Are you doing what you've always done? Are you continuing to do the same things you've always done? Because if nothing changes, nothing changes. We don't come to you and say, "Oh, this is the Holy Grail. This is the way you should be doing it," just to kind of stroke our own ego or pat ourselves on the back. We're here so that you can take these things and implement them, put them into action, so that you can have a different result. Because if you're doing the same things you've always done, you're going to get the same things you've always gotten, or worse, because the market is different. And what you did 5 years ago, and if you're still trying to do it now, it does not work, not to the level that you need it to, so that you can be highly successful and accomplish the goals that you're after. So we've got that. We've got what we call the owner circle for all retail owners out there. We've got a group, just an exclusive group. We're only going to have 15 people in this group, right? And so you can do that and make sure that you're growing your business. And we've got a really big surprise coming up for the end of the year. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be huge. It's going to be something that you have not seen in this industry. And we've brought a lot of that already. A lot of what we've done at MH Sales Mastery had not been seen in the industry before us. Okay? Not to mention, I forgot to say, man, John Ace Underwood. Look this guy up. John Ace Underwood. Look him up on LinkedIn. He is now part of our group. He is part of MH Sales Mastery. This guy's a wealth of knowledge. He's been in the industry longer than me. He's been training people to execute in sales at a high level longer than me. Not better than me, John, but longer than me. He's part of our group now. He's going to be heading up that owner circle group. And we've got so many other people on our team now. I'm telling you, we got 10 people coming with us from our team alone to Phoenix. And we'd love to see you there. Or we'd love to see you in Chicago, right? If you want to get to Chicago, or maybe you want to come out to Orlando in July. But what I was saying is, the end of the year, I'm gonna let it ride, man. I'm gonna put it all out on the line, and we'll probably announce this thing in May, June at the latest. And I want you guys to start, everybody on here, okay? And I don't care if you go to Phoenix, you go to Chicago, you go to Orlando. I do not care. You're going to want to be with us at the end of the year. This thing is going to be in Dallas, Texas, okay? And it's going to be huge. It's going to be a big old party. It's going to be something incredible for the industry, and we want you guys to be there. So plan on that right now. Come and join us at these other things, but plan on being in Dallas, Texas, probably be either November or December. Hey, man, I know it's the holiday season, but you're not going to want to miss this. You're not going to want to miss this, I promise you, okay? And we're going to need your help. We're going to need your help to make it a success, and we're going to need your help to be able to take this industry to a whole nother level. We're going to need your help, everybody on the sales side. We're going to need your help to make this thing the rock concert that it can be, the rock show, and bring some energy, bring some excitement to this industry, and just turn it on its head, man. Turn it on its head so that you can do what you got to do. All right, guys, listen, man. I'm getting into Dallas from my drive, and I appreciate you guys coming in here and hanging out with me. If there's anything that we can help you out with, feel free to reach out. But here's the thing, like I said earlier, if you reach out and we send you stuff, we don't charge people when we do that. I try and get everybody the things they need, man, because I just want to see you succeed, right? If you're going to go through one of our courses and all that, that's a different story. But if you ask me for one question on this or that, I will get you the answers. But the thing here is, you've got to execute on it. Don't ask for stuff and then not do it. Don't ask for help on certain things and then you keep doing the same thing over and over again, because that's the easier thing. We're creatures of habit as humans, right? We're creatures of habit. So obviously the easier thing is going to be to keep doing what you've always done. But I promise you, if you make the changes and you put them into action and you're consistent with it, it's going to pay off for you. You're going to see the change. Or you can keep doing the same thing and keep having the same result. I hope you guys have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Okay. Reach out. We'll be here. Man, I've got a lot of work to do this weekend. We're always working. All of us, the whole team. So you guys have a great evening. Take care of yourselves. And, as what I like to say, we are here to take your life, your business, and your career to a whole new level. Thanks for being here tonight, guys. All right. And as always, can't wait to meet you.